Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Cine Geek Sit and Talk. I'm Roy.
And Angela.
For this episode, we will be talking about the latest crime drama thriller that's now in cinemas, and that's Crime 101, starring
Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, and Halle Berry.
That's right. An elusive thief, eyeing his final score, encounters a disillusioned insurance broker at her own crossroads. As their paths intertwine, a relentless detective trails them, hoping to thwart the multi-million-dollar heist they are planning. Yun. So, bago natin ituloy yung ating discussion about the film, just a little background info. Kaya baka may mga nagtataka sa inyo kung bakit matagal kami nakapaglabas or wala kaming stand and talk or walk and talk for this film.
Yeah.
Dapat meron. Kaso, dapat yung special screening neto, na-invite kami last Monday, Feb 16. Unfortunately, a few days before that, I got sick. So, medyo malala yung nangyari. So, hindi kami nakapunta and unfortunately, weren't able to put out our initial reactions. And I know na there are...
Marami nag-aabang nito.
Yes, maraming... Tsaka like dun sa Facebook, shout out to Mark Nico, one of our Facebook Cine Geeks, na talagang inaabangan yung kung ano sabi namin.
Here you go, ito na.
Ito na yung, at actually ito na at full, spoiler review siya. Hindi lang siya walk into or stand in talk. So, I hope you're watching. Pero yun, we also saw it now and we're very excited to see this. Kaya ngayon na napanood namin, sige, ikaw muna, Ange, what did you think of Crime 101?
Una muna, bago ako pumunta sa Crime 101, sa trailer pa lang, natatawa ako kasi parang I can't really shake off the Marvel characters that I'm seeing together. Para siyang mash-up eh. 'Di ba? Pairing of Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo gives me Thor Ragnarok. Parang, oh my God, they really are friends from work.
Kasama nila si Storm.
Kasama nila si Storm. Buti na lang si Monica Barbaro. Wala pa yata siyang role sa Marvel. That I know of.
Tapos kasama pa nila si Barry Keoghan na nasa
si Drew Wick.
Si Drew Wick sa Eternals pa pala.
Oo nga, siya.
Kasi wala na nata si Nick Nolte tsaka si Monica Barbaro sa MCU pa. Wala pa sila.
The movie gives me David Fincher energies talaga. It reminds me of The Killer. It's a movie starring Michael Fassbender. Straight to Netflix siya. May mga set piece siya that really gives that action high-octane energy. Pero I think the story itself and the protagonist, mas more introspective, very man of few words, ganyan, mysterious. And I'm really surprised to see Chris Hemsworth na meron pala siyang gantong range na sobrang introverted, na sobrang understated acting, na hindi siya parang sobrang, alam mo yung, iba pa rin to dun sa Extraction eh.
Or iba din dun sa parang yung ano niya, kasi meron siyang Thor mode eh. Yung parang lagi niyang gravitas lagi. Pero
yung sobra namang heavy drama. Parang ito yung happy middle between the comedic Chris Hemsworth and the overdramatic Chris Hemsworth. Yon.
Pero meron pa rin nung Extraction vibes din.
Parang
yung action
nga
star.
Doon sa mga action scenes. Pero yung tipong parang Fassbender or parang sino pa ba? Sobrang yung quiet intensity. Yon. First time kong nakita si Chris Hemsworth na ganon. Na different from what he did sa Extraction.
Yes. I definitely agree dun sa yung kaya pala niya nung ako sabihin brooding, kasi hindi naman siya brooding eh. More na parang stewing, simmering. Stoic, yan. Tama yan siya. Na stoic pero alam mong may pinanggagalingan yung parang kung bakit siya ganun ka, bakit siya ganun ka talagang shut off, distant from everybody else. Talagang ayaw niya mag-make na connection. Eventually, it's revealed na he was a foster child na that bounced around the system and unfortunately, na pasama siya to the wrong crowd. Yung parang, although hindi naman siya sinabi outright doon sa movie, parang ang implication is, yung character ni Nick Nolte, parang hindi ko nahuli yung pangalan, parang Papa or something, parang ganun. Na parang siyang...
Very Stranger Things,
actually, diba? na parang nagre-recruit siya ng mga wayward individuals. So,
parehas ni Barry Keoghan.
Parehas si Barry Keoghan din. Pero, swerte siya kasi yung parang ni-recruit niya na yung itong si Mike, played by Chris Hemsworth, meron siyang strong moral compass.
Oo.
Kapag gumagawa siya ng mga heist niya, hindi siya,
Ano siyang code?
hindi siya pumapatay,
Oo.
hindi siya nag-relieve ng collateral damage na kahit ano.
Thou shall not kill.
Oo.
Parang
Tapos,
ganun, or hurt people.
oo, tapos hindi din siya, parang wala nga nangyari eh. Yun yung parang, kasi sinusundan na rin siya ni Mark Ruffalo, yung detective eh. And napapansin na nga ni Mark Ruffalo yung parang mga patterns.
Oo. Ang masabi ko lang ha, si Mark Ruffalo parang typecast siya bilang police outside of Marvel. Lagi siyang, sabi ko nga sobrang lakas ng intuition niya. He caught the Zodiac Killer. So
Actually.
I'm gonna believe him doon sa mga patterns na nakikita niya doon sa parang serial thievery
Actually.
or robbery ni 101
Ni
robber.
Mike.
Oo.
Ni Mike. Yan. And on that note, let's also talk about Halle Berry. I mean, Halle Berry. She's always great in any role that she's put in.
Of course, Academy winner.
Yes, and for this, talagang sobrang yung meron siyang humanity na dinadala dun sa proceedings eh.
Oo.
Kasi itong si Mike, itong si Hemsworth, sobrang stoic. Tapos ito namang si Mark Ruffalo, sobrang niyang world weary kasi nga para siya lang yung nakakakita ng patterns ng ginagawa ni Mike. Tapos ayaw siya pakinggan ng mga kasama niya sa police.
Kasi may corruption din doon sa sa system
Yes, that's right.
na wala siyang magawang para malabanan yun eh.
Oo, pero ang tanong dito is yung kay Halle Berry, siya yung middle ground. Na parang, what if you're trying to parang live to the system na hindi ka naman parang sobrang ito. Ayoko na. Pero talagang you're trying to power through. And may linya nga dito na nung in-offer na ni Mike si Halle Berry na parang join me, basically. Sinabi niya na parang, I work every day and work hard. Ganyan.
Everything I have is through hard work, ganyan.
I don't lie, steal or cheat, yung mga ganun.
So parang wag mo kong itulad sa'yo, ganyan.
Pero ending, di ba nagtulungan, pero parang they are the cogs in this puzzle that, basically leads into the heist. That's the climax of the film.
Ang ganda ng pagkakakonek-connect actually ng mga characters nila eh. I love the editing. Kung paano nagta-transition yung mga storylines nila. Parang it's like the highways of LA.
Yan. Speaking of editing, may mga dito, may mga transitions dito na nakakakiliti yung I think, I would have loved it if the movie parang kept it up. Pero I also understand why parang they stop from using it all the time kasi baka maging distracting na siya.
Pero doon sa bandang dulo na,
binalik ba nila?
Oo, doon sa pagbibihis. Nung nagbibihis
yun,
sila.
tama. Kasi sa simula ng movie, pinakita na parang yung hinahand off yung introduction ng various storylines with them intersecting in traffic.
Yun, ang ganda nun.
Galing. And editing is by Julian Hart and Jacob Schulsinger. Sana hindi ko binutcher yung pangalan niya.
Parang it's giving me parang Crash.
The good Crash.
The good kind of Crash na parang nag-intersect yung mga paths nila without ever meeting each other. Pero parang umpisa pa lang, dun sa nagkakasabay sila sa daan, ganyan. Tapos kahit si Barry Keoghan.
Okay, sige. Hindi naman, I think you would agree naman na hindi naman lahat ng characters slam dunk. Kasi may roles dito si Nick Nolte, si Monica Barbaro, at saka si Corey Hawkins from The Walking Dead, if that name is familiar.
Oo nga. Iniisip ko kanina pa, bakit na familiar? Siya yung may dreads na nakasalamin sa Walking Dead. Ano pangalan niya doon? Heath?
Basta. Nakalimutan ko yung pangalan.
Si Heath yata. Oh my God.
Yun.
Sabi ko nga, familiar to.
Kaya,
wait nga, check ko. Si Heath nga ba siya?
Sige. There is an embarrassment of riches in terms of acting dito sa movie na to. Pero yun na nga, unfortunately, Nick Nolte, Barbaro, and Hawkins, they get the short ends of the stick. Hindi naman lahat kasi mabibigay. Si Heath ba?
Oo.
Ayun, si Heath nga.
Siya nga.
Ayun.
Yan, no?
Yan siya. Kaya, ang pinaka naanuhan ako doon is parang medyo, hindi ko lang alam kung dahil ba sa writing or directing or acting choices ni Monica Barbaro, pero parang her character felt out of place in the whole thing.
Alam mo, iniisip ko din yan kanina pa kasi nagkakaroon ako ng impression na parang part siya ng conspiracy na
Yun yung acting niya, yung weird nga yun.
na parang duplicitous siya ganon or parang she's giving off a Mrs. Smith kind of energy or vibe. Para siyang undercover. Siguro dahil sobrang striking and sobrang strong ng facial features niya, kaya parang iniisip ko na parang, wait lang, parang I think there's more to this girl than meets the eye. Pero yun pala, yun lang yun, siya lang yun.
Napaka-played straight tong character niya. Kaya medyo parang, pwede sa dulo na parang reveal na, okay, there's nothing shady about her, parang ganun.
Is it just me? Ako lang ba yung sobrang suspicious? Pero I think, siguro it's because of the casting.
True.
Siguro dapat mas maamo dapat or parang mas innocent looking para talagang unassuming yung itsura ng character. Hindi yung siya na parang, I think she's smarter than she looks. And she looks very sharp eh.
True. At saka ano mo yung to, parang siguro, ayoko naman sabihin na parang kasalanan din natin for that. Pero parang, I think it's inherent in the genre. Dahil nga parang neo-noir crime thriller siya. Na parang isipin mo,
conspiracy pa, diba?
lahat ng characters, part ng pieces of the puzzle. And let's go ahead and talk about this puzzle. Kasi for writer and director, Bart Layton, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I know kasi na he is a documentarian. Yun. Most notably for yung The Impostor. Yun, 2012 pa yun, pero naalala ko yun. Yun yung tungkol dun sa merong isang, parang siyang orphan na bata. Yung orphan meaning yung si
the orphan.
Si orphan. Yun.
There's something about Esther.
Yun, si Esther, yun. Na parang siyang mukhang bata yung matanda. Pero sumama siya dun sa pamilya, tapos inassume niya yung identity ng anak nung family na yun.
Okay.
Kaya maganda yun. If you are able to watch that documentary, it's fantastic documentary. Pero mas yun siya, mas known siya more for documentary narratives. And this is, I guess, one of his first na parang forays into fictional narrative.
Pero actually, tama I can sense the documentarian in his work. Kasi yung mga evidences, yung mga pieces of the puzzle was laid out to us in a very organized fashion.
Super, napaka-methodic. Yun yung inaano ko doon parang nung sa simula, nung pinapanood natin siya, parang siyang, bakit yung hindi siya like yung kung paano yung flow ng isang neo-noir. Na talagang sobrang parang, it was a rainy night. Yung mga ganun na parang medyo parang, kumbaga in your head, yung may mausok yung mga paligid. Tapos ganun. Hindi yung pagkakapresente ng facts dito talagang, ito, yan. Clockwork.
And kahit yung pagkaka-introduce sa atin sa mga characters is very documentary-like, parang true crime.
Yes.
Ganon. Kasi una muna nating nakilala si Hemsworth, syempre, kung paano niya ginagawa yung usual job niya. And then, saka tayo pupunta kay Mark Ruffalo. Kay Ruffalo. Pero nakita na natin glimpses lang of Halle Berry. Noon nagkasabay lang sila sa traffic, ganyan.
Yun nga yun. God. Again, editing. And also
ganun pala. Ganun ng LA? Na magkakasalubong sila sa highways nila.
I mean, yun nga yun nga parang baka siguro dahil doon sa 101 na freeway, talagang it connects the entirety of Los Angeles talaga.
So, parang it's the main artery of the city.
Parang siyang isipin mo kung imbis na EDSA yung main ng Metro Manila C5. Parang ganun.
Okay, so it makes sense. So, meron ding parang metaphor on the title. Actually, akala ko nga kapag nung sinabing Crime 101 yung title, parang is this like a parang basics? How to. Kasi, I mean, 101. Yung pala, it's a play on the
101 freeway. Yes. Yan, ganda ng title. By the way, yung pala, the cinematography of this film by Eric Alexander Wilson.
Ay, ang ganda.
Sobrang ganda na lente. My God.
Gusto ko yung shot ni Chris Hemsworth dun sa elevator na parang ang dami niyang mga reflection na parang it really shows you the many faces that he's wearing in this line of work.
That's true. At saka din, ito, masabi ko lang kasi we've been talking about a few films lately. na we are knocking for being style over substance, sorry.
Like what?
Like Wuthering Heights. Yun.
Sobrang masyadong concentrate sa visuals.
Masyadong ganon. Pero kasi ito, I will definitely say that I praise it for this movie being style over substance kasi especially kung parang calling card o parang entrada ni Bart Clayton to into fictional narrative filmmaking, napakagandang debut niya. Talagang ibang klaseng, iisipin mo kung halimbawa to, parang siyang, I would say na itong Crime 101 is like if Damien Chazelle made Whiplash, pero medyo hindi sobrang pulido yung script. Ito yun siya, Crime 101.
Alam mo, siguro nga dahil dun sa inexperience niya pa sa cinematic way of writing. Kasi nga sobra niyang yung very factual, matter of fact, methodical, kasi ganun sa documentary. Actually, sa documentary, walang script.
Yes.
'Di ba? Wala ka naman dialogue doon. Nakita ko yung parang medyo shortcoming or weakness nung dialogue dito. Pero it actually kind of serves the story kasi hindi naman siya dapat dialogue heavy eh. It's a very visual kind of storytelling. Especially yung mga revelations about sa personality and dun sa mga secrets ni Mike/James.
Yes.
Mas pinapakita siya, mas nire-reveal siya sa atin visually eh.
True.
Kesa sa
Exposition.
Exposition,
versus
yon. So,
dialogue, yes. Yeah.
It's not exposition heavy. Yun yung nagustuhan ko. I mean, it actually worked for me.
It's a very, I mean, this movie is, 2 hours and 20 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It's actually very propulsive for that length. Although, I would have loved kung medyo matrim ng konti yung runtime niya.
Oo. Babawasan ko yung kay Monica Barbaro.
Monica
Kasi akala ko
Barbaro,
importante siya. Kasi
actually,
ang haba nung screen time niya.
At saka yung, kahit sabi ko lang last na lang kay Monica, but we're not knocking Monica. Medyo weird lang talaga yung characterization and yung character niya dito. Kahit yung meet cute nila ni Mike, napaka-charged na parang napaka-suspicious niya.
Oh, especially with how parang they make accidents look like accidents.
Yes, true.
Alam naman natin na yung mga ganon, katulad nga nung MO ni Mike/James, sinasadya niya lahat ng mga what seems like coincidences or accidents
diba?
sa mga victims niya.
Tapos may isang moment pa dito na lagi kasing may motif din yung yoga kasi dito eh.
Makes me wanna go back to yoga.
Same. Pero may scene dito na parang double take tayo kasi parang, wait, si Monica Barbaro ba yung nasa likod? So parang, napapaisip ka pa, wait, is she an important cog in this story? In a way, kasi she brings humanity to Mike/James's life, pero not in the parang yung central crime story.
Oo Hindi siya parang side chick lang.
Hindi importante
Kasi,
talaga siya.
If you know Monica Barbaro's filmography, hindi siya yung parang innocent type na sobrang gullible, na parang, I'm just a little girlfriend. Parang hindi ganun yung energy kasi niya.
That's true.
So I think she was terribly miscast lang.
Sige, we were talking about this on the way to where we are shooting our City Talk. By the way, andito kami sa aming isa sa mga favorite na tambayan, which is Starbucks Eton Centrix. Not a sponsor, pero thank you very much to the place for hosting us.
Ay, sa mga may mga nagtatanong kasi kung anong drink daw yung in-order natin.
Yung
brown sugar, soy milk,
iced shaken espresso.
Basta ang haba
Basta yun, mahaba siya.
Hindi mo maalala, basta yun.
Yes, actually dito namin din sinut yung The Loved One na sit and talk namin.
So Starbucks.
Thank you, Starbucks.
Baka naman.
So, I mean, the three leads are electric. They're fantastic. The script, there are clunky dialogue, pero yung kumbaga yung skeleton niya is impressive.
Pero before we wrap I have to give props to Barry Keoghan.
Oo.
Siya talaga, sobrang electric niya, sobrang niyang wild card. As in, talagang every time he's there, parang feeling ko, ano na naman kagagawa yung mangyayari. Para siyang, alam mo yung nilagay mo siya sa, the entire movie is David Fincher, but he's a Safdie. character.
Ay, nga no. Oh, yes.
Ganon siya ka-chaotic.
That's a very great comparison.
Para siyang from Uncut Gems, na bigla na lang siyang nag-a-add ng sobrang taas na tension.
At saka yung yun nga yung, ito, thank you for pointing out. Kasi, lest we forget, na parang that is a very important parang differentiator kung gaano ka pulido si Mike / James. And kung gaano ka wildcard itong pangalan niya, si Ormond.
May pangalan pala siya.
Ayun ako. So,
Basta ang alam ko si Riding in Tandem.
siya.
Oo.
Nakamotor lagi, tapos naka-helmet habang gumagawa ng
Si Kuya Move It.
Si Kuya Kamote. Anyway, yun, this might seem for a lot na it's a movie that yung parang best throwaway siya. Pero no, don't sleep on this film. The chase scenes are fantastic. I mean, the movie even says it out loud na ang kanyang obvious na inspiration is Steve McQueen. Both Bullet and Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah. Tsaka yung statement niya on poetic justice na talagang sometimes the system really fucks you over.
Mhm.
And all you have to do is
Talagang
just
fight.
be smarter than the system talaga.
That's true. That's true. Ayun. So, yeah, let's go ahead and give our rating for Crime 101. Anong rating natin for this movie?
For this movie, I'm giving it a B+.
Yeah, we're giving this a B+ for Crime 101.
Good start.
We are excited to see where Bart Layton takes his fictional narrative filmmaking career from this point. Okay, so to wrap up, I guess that's it for Crime 101. I'm Roy,
And Angela.
and thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Cine Geek Sit and Talk, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!